The Bhopal gas tragedy returned to haunt the Olympics on the day of its opening ceremony. Protesters tried to shame Dow, which has sponsored a decorative sheep that wraps the Olympic Stadium. Demonstrations in Bhopal and London reminded people that Dow still had a lot to do for the thousands killed and the generation marred by the gas leak at the Union Carbide plant.
The other side of the London Olympics. The simmering anger against making Dow a sponsor, the owner of a company that was responsible for the world's worst industrial disaster, killing thousands, leaving thousands permanently crippled. In Bhopal, hundreds of survivors of the deadly 1984 Bhopal gas leak held a special Olympics for children suffering birth defects. Taking a pot shot at the multi-billion-pound extravaganza in London, the event began with an opening ceremony of children with cerebral palsy, partial paralysis and mental retardation parading in wheelchairs and walking with the assistance of others. Brooms were handed out to send a signal to Dow, which has never taken responsibility for cleaning up the environmental damage around the plant.
आज यूनियन कार्बाइड ने जो किया, ये बच्चे ऐसे हैं, उसके बाद भी ये भाग लेना चाहते हैं। खुशी है हमें, चलो ये बच्चा चलेगा तो देखेंगे वो लोग कि देखो ये बच्चा आपके कारण ऐसा हुआ, खेलने में भागे।
In London, the protests were staged at close to the Olympic Stadium. Protesters staged a tie-in on the pavement near an entrance to the Olympic grounds, their bodies draped with white sheets and protest banners.
Dow has spent millions to show its side of the story, and the victims are devastated that the London Games organisers chose to ally themselves with a company like Dow. It pours salt in the wounds of the victims to know that Dow is being allowed to use the Olympics to show an untrue face.
The City of London and the Olympic Organising Committee is absolutely desperate to ensure that the London Olympic Games, the 30th Olympic Games, are a big success. But the spectre of Dow is hanging over the Games, especially as far as India is concerned. There are protests that are taking place in London and they threaten to take a bit of the sheen away from the Games.
In the wake of criticism over its links with the Bhopal disaster, Dow Chemicals has taken a hard-nosed approach to its sponsorship. The Dow executive in charge of its Olympic operation, George Hamilton, while rejecting the protests as inappropriate, said that its involvement with the Summer Games was an investment, not a sponsorship. With Gaurav Kala in London, Achin Kannan, Headlines Today.